news. There was some tragic stuff today. Although the first one I read made me wonder, how does someone even say this in terms of, I guess, a suspect for people that you should keep an eye on? It says here, Port Dover woman startled by peeping drone outside bedroom window, OPP. The suspect is described as a 60 to 70-year-old man with white hair. A Port Dover woman was changing her clothes earlier this month when she noticed a peeping drone hovering outside her bedroom window, according to provincial police. The woman arrived at her home on Prospect Street between 3 and 4 p.m. on January 13th and headed into her room to change, said OPP Constable Ed Sanchek in a video posted on Twitter. That's when she noticed something buzzing on the other side of the glass. And it says, quote, while changing, she noticed a blue flashing light outside her window and observed what appeared to be a hovering drone. He said the startled woman opened the window and got a better look at the drone, which seemed to have some sort of recording device attached to it. Then she noticed a man standing near the border of the property holding a remote control. The woman shouted at him and immediately he began to walk away. Police say the suspect, described as a man between 60 and 70 years old with white hair, was last seen heading northwest down the street. So usually the question is whether or not it was a drone or not. Are people really being stalked? Are they capturing like scenery and so forth? But then the description of the person here is what made me think, is this really accurate in terms of how to, I guess, suggest people to hunt people down? It says investigators are asking anyone who knows a man who lives in the area and is, quote, into drones and matches that description to contact them. And then it gives warning, please make sure that when you're in your residence, draw the blinds, the curtains, the shutters, whatever it may be. You just never know who may be trying to check up on you. To me, that's a little ridiculous. Okay, 60 to 70-year-old man with white hair and anyone that you know that's into things like drones. Really? Is that how you basically hunt down suspects? So if someone has, like, I don't know, a kidnapping with a car, anybody that you know who drives a car that's around this age, make sure to find out whether or not there's a suspect or not. That's almost worse than that Gatwick fiasco where they never even determined it was a drone or not and they just arrested a person because they said, oh, he's into like flying model aircrafts and stuff like that. To me personally, that's kind of crazy. Like whether or not it was someone out there and so forth, who knows? But at the same time, makes you wonder if everyone's basically just saying this is a drone, that's a drone, just because it's a thing to do, it seems. Makes me think just the other day, actually, I just saw something bright in the sky. I was like, hey, what is it? I mean, if I showed you this video right now and I said, hey, look at the drone, would you actually believe it? I don't even know what it was, like a star or whatever, but still. And then this article is just kind of interesting. It makes you think of every other, I guess, regulation and stuff like that that doesn't make sense many times. As you guys know, recently we got Uber here in Vancouver with the ride sharing and all that. It's been so long. For the most part, it just seems like bureaucracy and politics, businesses basically trying to stop it. Well, apparently, even though it's legal in a lot of the parts here in the province in terms of a provincial law, there's a city like called Surrey here where actually the mayor is banning it and he's threatening to fine people, and apparently people did get fined for operating like a Uber business. Like this one here says, it's like a trap. Uber driver reportedly baited by Surrey bylaw officers. So try to think about that. It's legal in a lot of the parts in the province as ride sharing and all that. The company has a license to operate, but the mayor in this specific city of Surrey is telling people, hey, you do any ride sharing and stuff within our city here, I'm going to fine you. Which doesn't make sense because the provincial law should override it, like in this case, reading what they said. So apparently someone did actually get a ticket for it, as you can see here. Like what, this guy got like a fine of $500 saying no person will carry on a business in the city without holding a valid and sustaining license for the business connected in the city of Surrey. That's crazy to have someone be able to do that. It's like a monopoly. Even everyone is saying, what are you doing? People want this service and all that. I think some people are saying, oh, the taxi companies are like a mafia over there. In my opinion, that is a good example too, where sometimes when there's regulations and stuff, they don't make sense. They don't seem to be related to safety and all that. In this case, I think it's just about money, where companies basically encourage this mayor or whatever to say, keep these guys out of our, quote, territory. Kind of ridiculous, huh? So apparently the technicality with this is you can actually, like, say, drive someone from Vancouver to Surrey, but the second that you pick someone up from Surrey is when you'll get in trouble based on, I guess, that mayor's rules or whatever you want to call it. And that's apparently what happened here, where the person did a job where they dropped someone off into Surrey, and then I guess the app tells you, hey, there's another person wanting a ride, and he accepted it, which happened to be, I guess, this undercover police officer. Makes you wonder what you'll think as that officer as well. Like, would there be anyone who actually agrees with that, saying this should be blocked, this ride sharing and all that? So crazy. And then the other big news I read today where apparently there was a helicopter crash like in the US, and I guess to make the news really big, the NBA star Kobe Bryant was apparently in it with his daughter and a bunch of other people, and they're trying to figure out what happened. This one here says Kobe Bryant's helicopter pilot was given clearance to fly under worse than normal conditions. Millions of people never met him, but the sudden death of Kobe Bryant and 8 others has left the country in mourning. The 41-year-old NBA legend died in a helicopter crash under foggy conditions in Calabasas, California. Visibility was so low Sunday morning that Los Angeles police had grounded its helicopters. The helicopter was operating under special visual flight rules according to an air traffic control conversation with the pilot. An SVFR clearance allows a pilot to fly in weather conditions worse than those allowed for regular visual flight rules. Pilots can request SVFR clearance before takeoff or mid-flight, especially if conditions suddenly change. And from what I gather with the story, the person kept asking, I guess, the tower for instructions or directions to make sure he's going the right way, but basically they kept saying he was too low, and then whatever happened, they eventually crashed and they're still investigating. I remember during that drone school and stuff like that, actually the person was an actual pilot. They were saying how flying a helicopter is so much more difficult than flying an actual airplane. I know for me, I just do the simple stuff, flying the consumer drones and stuff like that just to capture views. Because when you get into the territory transferring people and all that, that's when even I would say, okay, you gotta take this super duper seriously in a strict way. I'm curious if this thing's gonna eat this walnut. It's like bigger than its head. I still think my theory's correct, where when it's big, they have to try to find a spot that they think is safe, like putting their back behind like a wall and all that, because they're afraid they'll be attacked. All right, see you guys later.